Morning, everyone. This is Tommy, Florida Realtor. In this monthly newsletter, I'm doing something a little bit different, throwing some video in there. I hope you find it helpful. Let me know. Of course, you can always reach out to me with any questions you may have at 239-313-9209, 239-313-9209. One of the things I like best about my job is I get to talk to people from across the country. Most of my conversations are with people in the Northeast, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, but of course the Midwest is, of course, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Midwest. That's where the majority of people relocate from where they're at to Florida. Now, in the past, it's all been about lifestyle, lower crime, lower taxes, of course, the great weather, and not having to deal with those great whiteouts or snowstorms in the middle of January and February. Happens every year. Someone will call me and says, Tom, I'm just done with it. I'm out of it. I had a conversation with a gentleman who's out of Minnesota. He wants to move here so bad. He just hates the cold. It just gets him to his bones. Okay. But one of the things that I've noticed when I speak with these people is that they all have a perception of what our real estate market is from where they're at. And that makes sense. If you're in New York, you are going to be influenced by New York's real estate market. If you're from Minnesota, you're going to be influenced by Minnesota's real estate market. But the reality is maybe Florida's market is different. And in reality, it is. That's why you need to have a local realtor who explains to you how the local market is. Now, in this particular presentation, I want to talk about something that's still looming on our horizon. There are some headwinds in the real estate market these days. Obviously, inflation. Inflation is battled by interest rates. The Fed's trying to cool the economy to get the inflation rate down. I understand. When the inflation rate goes down, everything's normal. But the way to cool the economy is to raise those interest rates. So people are pulling back. They're not buying because they think they can get a better deal on the rates. Well, my concern is a couple years down the road. We know the Fed is going to raise the interest rates. They have to. It's one of their only tools to battle inflation. Fed wants to get it down around 2%. Currently, we're somewhere between 5 and 6%. Okay, so we know more interest rates are coming from the Fed. I got it. So what people are doing is they're sort of shifting to neutral. They're thinking that I'm going to wait until the interest rates are lower. However, there's something that they haven't worked into their scenario, and it's something that we're going to have to talk about because it's an opportunity and a challenge. As you know, one of my major goals is that I'm all about giving my clients the information they need to make the right decision for themselves. All of my information is based upon what closed local sales are here locally from our board. Now, you may get numbers from NAR, you may get numbers from ABC, CNBC, Fox, whoever you get them from, but those numbers are usually national numbers, and they're important to know because it tells you what the health of the country is. Why working with me is important because I'm going to give you the numbers here locally based upon actual closed sales. There's not projections. So when we take a look at the interest rates, we know that on average, since 1970 to 1922, the average interest rate is 7 to 8. Okay, but if you're older, you remember an interest rate of 18%. If you're in your early 30s or later 20s, you've been used to having 2, 3, maybe 4%. So your perception is that, geez, these rates are through the roof, they're unobtainable, it's just unbelievable. But when you take a step back and you look at the whole market as a whole, our average over a 50-year window is 7 to 8%. Okay, that may be the average, but the 4, 5, 6% that we're at now is a real number for you that you actually had to deal with. What it was back in the 80s or 90s means nothing to you because you have to deal with the reality of the interest rate. So a lot of people are sitting by the wayside. They think, I'll wait till the interest rates come down. Well, if you take a look at the newsletter today and you take a look at the one number on the very bottom, it's our absorption rate. Our absorption rate for the month of March is about 3.4%, which means if no other homes come to market, we will be out of inventory in 90 days. So think about that. A normal market is between 4 and 6. So if we're at 3, we are still favoring the sellers. If you're above 6, you're starting to favor the buyers because there's now a glut of homes on the market. And to get those homes sold, you have to lower the price. Okay, that's where we're at. But the reality is there is an 800-pound gorilla in the room that very few people are talking about. So I want to go over those numbers with you. Because my job is to give you a slice of reality, where the market actually is, the way things actually are. So many times people come in with a scenario in their head, this is what I'm going to do, and this is the way it will work out. Well, the reality is they're not taking into consideration a couple of the factors they're unaware of. And why would they be aware of it? They're not realtors as I am. I've been doing this full time for 12 years. I understand the market very well. So if we take a look at the interest rates, obviously the higher the interest rates starts to push people back. They start to pull back because interest rates generally go up to fight inflation. So your budget's harder because you're spending $300 or $400 or more a month on basic goods. Interest rates go up, your mortgage is higher. So people say, okay, I'm gonna wait till things get better. But the reality of the situation based upon our slide here is that the economy is showing signs of resilience and resistance at the same time. What is the number one challenge you're gonna face when you're moving to Southwest Florida, particularly just a little bit down the road? Yep, you see it, housing shortage. That 3.2% of homes available for people to buy, it's just simply not going to be enough. If you take a look at this slide here, even though our inventory has come up, we are still below where we were in 2017 through 2019. Yes, there's more homes now on the market, but we're still woefully short. And with the slowing or a chilling of demand by the increase of inflation and interest rate, people are pulling back. But there's one more point I want to cover here. If you take a look at this slide, which is from 1970 all the way over to 2020, and I believe 2022 is in that number, you'll see these are the amount of homes that America built year in and year out. If you take that look at this line, you find the average number. Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that back here, these 4 consecutive years, we built the most amount of units we've ever built in our history. But then we fell off a cliff. We hit 2004, 2005, the bubble popped, housing went to zero, absolutely zero. And it didn't really start picking up about 2012. And it didn't go up to the black line level, it just started from a lower level and went higher and higher and higher. Now 2022 is a bellmark year because it's the first time in the last 18 years that we've actually come close and even met the average amount of homes that were being built year in and year out in America. Why is this important? This gap between here and here is what's caused the shortage in housing within America. It's not just a Southwest Florida problem, it's a problem everywhere. Housing is just difficult to find. You take a look at this number, Realtor.com thinks we're short 5 million homes, Bank of America's 4, Freddie Mac is 3.8. We simply don't have enough homes. Now fast forward, interest rates go up, but at one point in time, they're gonna come back down. Once they start coming back down, Katie bar the door, people are gonna start pulling the trigger. So all that pent-up demand is going to come to market. And when it comes to market, you're gonna have 10 people fighting for one home. We're back in the same situation we were prior to pre-pandemic, where the market was just insane. So how does this impact you? What should you do? I understand trying to save a few dollars on a month-to-month budget, but think about it. Appreciation will come back, and it'll come back in like gangbusters once the interest rates tick down. So what do? Get yourself prepared to pull the trigger. If you have the ability now to pull the trigger, I would do so. Yes, your interest rates will be higher, but you can lock it in at 6 or 7%, which is well within the 50-year history, or you can wait till it gets to 8 or maybe 9. So buying a home is absolutely the right thing to do now. And I can almost guarantee that if you hold it for 2 years and the interest rates start to click down, all those people are sitting by the wayside and waiting will come to market, and your home will be one of few available. That means the simple rule of supply and demand. Low inventory, high demand will drive prices up. So you have to take a long view here. Either pull the trigger now and be rewarded 3 to 5 years down the road, or wait the 3 to 5 years and have to pay significantly higher for housing. I hope this slide and this presentation has helped you. Bottom line, the inventory shortage that exists now will exist once the interest rates start heading down. Demand will spike, prices will spike, and you may be priced out of the market. So have some courage, give me a call, let's have a conversation about what's right for you. It's Tommy, Florida Realtor, number's 239-313-9209. Look forward to speaking to you. If you have any questions about this, that, or anything to do with the real estate market here in Southwest Florida, please feel free to give me a call. Love talking to you guys. Have a great day.